Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for Northern Ag TV. Well, bipartisan legislation has been reintroduced into the Senate addressing anti-competitive markets and consolidation in the meatpacking industry. The Meat and Poultry Special Investigator Act of 2025 would create an Office of Special Investigators within the Packers and Stockyards Division in the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This office would hold legal powers addressing violations of the Packers and Stockyards Act, which is designed to ensure fair competition in the meatpacking industry. U.S. Cattlemen's Association President Justin Tupper stated that producers have gone too long without fair options when it comes to processors, with the four largest packers controlling 85% of the space. And a recent report from the U.S. Department of Agriculture showed U.S. ethanol exports are up 27% from a year ago. Ethanol exports have already crossed the 1 billion gallon threshold halfway through the marketing year. The rise in sales is contributed to an 11% increase in U.S. grains and all forms exports compared to last year. Canada has maintained their pace as the top ethanol importer with an additional 19 million more gallons purchased compared to last year. The European Union has also showed strong desire for U.S. ethanol by adding another 78 million gallons to their market. And President Donald Trump suggested a new program will be set up to help legalize farm workers and reduce the risk of farmers losing undocumented workers to deportations. Trump did discuss easing restrictions for farm labor during a cabinet meeting last week. The president stated that farmers need workers and undocumented workers will be given a chance to return to the country legally. The president also noted that farm workers who register would not have to immediately leave the country, but could remain working on the farm for a temporary period of time. South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds introduced several pieces of legislation outlining agriculture policy priorities for Congress. Included in the legislation was an update to safety net programs, which Rounds stated will make certain producers are receiving fair coverage for their products, allowing state-inspected meat and poultry products to be sold across state lines and prevent against government overreach. Rounds stated he is looking forward to getting these priorities included in the Farm Bill and across the finish line, where he will continue to support farmers and ranchers in South Dakota. Stay with us. We'll be back with the market reports right after this.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Talking with someone that you know is stressed out, those are difficult things to approach, but if you're good friends with those people, reach out and say, I'm here to talk to you. We can find somewhere to get some assistance. It's hard to get involved, but at the same time, you want to just say, hey, there is help available.
For more tips in dealing with stress in agriculture or for free counseling for egg producers, visit beyondtheweather.com.
Well, traders anticipated to find strength in the markets on Friday, and that they sure did. Feeder contracts managed to find support from the stock market rebound and push contracts $2 to $3 higher. The April feeder cattle contract is back up to that $2.85 mark. Live cattle did manage to find triple-digit gains as well, even with cash cattle bids coming in $3 to $4 lower than last week. Box beef had a rough go at it last week, but choice cuts managed to sell 83 cents higher on Friday at $335.12. Looking at the sale barns, who have not seen any outside pressure recently, Sydney Livestock Market sold slaughter bulls steady to $4 higher, with some bulls topping the sale at $181. Replacement cows sold steady to a few dollars higher as well. Sydney did see a light testing of feeder cattle. Mid-5-weight steers averaged right at $400, with mid-5-weight heifers topping out at $334.50. For the spring bull sale front, Carr, Angus, and Hobson, Montana sold 43 yearling bulls, averaging just over $6,000 a head, and the top bull selling for $13,000. Corn and soybean contracts managed to complete a perfect week last week, trading higher each day. Corn futures finding much needed support from the World Supply and Demand report that was released on Thursday. The report did show a cut in ending stocks for corn. Futures managed to trade near 10 cents higher Friday afternoon. Soybeans also had a bullish supply and demand report that showed tighter supply stocks, and with the pause on tariffs, traders are anticipating that a dispute with China will not affect old soybean crop. Wheat futures on Friday had a very strong day of trade, with winter wheat contracts up 10 cents. Concerns for weather of Russian wheat crop as well as dryness over the U.S. crop has given much needed support to the markets. Chicago markets traded as much as 18 cents higher on Friday, and spring wheat contracts up around 13 cents. Well, that's going to do it for our Northern Ag TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Colton Young.